Coming back at you, everybody. A new episode. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Howling at Life. I am Big Adrian, the Wolfman of Comedy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and let everybody know what's going on here. Let everybody know to come follow this wonderful podcast. We're coming at you a day late, though, but Frankie was kind of sick a little bit. But you can always follow me on any of my social media. Facebook, Big Adrian Lopez, Big Adrian, all one word. My 3 Instagrams, Big Daddy L714 for tattoos, Wolf Daddy 714, and for my comedy, Big Adrian Comedy, all one word on Instagram. So, since Frankie was sick this weekend, Frankie misses a lot, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking guy, if you like, take a fucking vitamin C tab or some shit. Midol, something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But, in studio, spooky bitch, Lena. The fuck? Oh, we got spooky bitch in the studio. Here a day late, like I said, things got really busy. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about graduations. We're going to talk about movie review. We're going to talk about blessings going on. We're going to talk about all sorts of stuff going on for sure. This whole weekend that happened. Hopefully everybody, you made it through the weekend. And, you know, this is Monday night, so we're going to be posting this up as soon as this is over. But wanted to make sure, actually, I'll be honest with you. We were halfway done recording this episode. And apparently my storage was full. So I had to get rid of the damn fucking videos, but it wasn't getting rid of them because I had to get rid of them off the trash. So now we had to re-record this thing. We're halfway through. Halfway through with this motherfucker. So now we're coming with a different energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I hate repeating myself. So we're doing this all over again just for you, y'all. But make sure you share, like, subscribe, let people know about Howling at Life, y'all, all right? And I want to give a big congrats to the class of 2025. I want to kind of touch on that a little bit, man, but congratulations to y'all, a class of 2025, especially the high school students. Now go get a fucking job. It's time to be an adult, dog. Your free ride is over. But we're going to talk about some stuff like that going on, but really, congratulations to everybody that you know, got through it. It doesn't matter if you had high scores, low scores, as long as you graduated, you did your thing, man. Congratulations, very proud of each and every one of you. There's a lot of people that don't get that accomplishment under their belt, for sure, you know, for one reason or another. But we want to say that. One of the persons, yeah, there you go. Stop being a mom. But one of people that I do want to congratulate is Lily. Spooky bitch is daughter, youngest daughter. We got to see her graduate last Thursday.
They have all officially beaten me.
Yes, they have. But you've beaten them. You have more kids than they do. So
I thought you meant beaten them.
No, well, that's a whole CPS case. So
not no more.
Child Protective Services. There's no limit on when you can report somebody. Anyways, wanted to say congratulations to everybody, man. It was a cool little event. So I'm gonna kind of go on this with Spooky Bitch. We had the graduation thing, planned it for weeks. We had family visiting, just a lot of blessings, a lot of stuff going on. So wanted to kind of ask Spooky Bitch here, you know what I mean, how that was for you seeing your youngest graduate.
No pressure. It was. I was very proud. I had this really big sense of accomplishment, even though it's her accomplishment. I felt accomplished too because, you know, she did it. It's my last one, my youngest.
She did it.
She did it. And I was very proud, and I was excited. I was sad. It's very bittersweet.
Mixture of emotions. Mixture
of emotions. But very happy because it allowed everybody to come together like the way I always wanted. You know what I mean? And it was all in celebration. And I had probably some not so great expectations possibly that were in my head floating around. and none of that happened. None of the bad.
Well, on the worst side of flip side of the coin. Okay.
I was nervous, you know.
Same.
But it all turned out so good, and being able to watch her walk across, you know, the field, because they come out like halfway and go up the middle. That's where it really started to hit. Like, she was walking out, because of course I watched her get dressed and help her put her cap on and everything. But watching her take that walk, it was just like I was so fulfilled. Like, so fulfilled.
I was hot. So it was
hot.
very hot. We were sitting in the sun for a few hours, and like I said to everybody that knows me, I'm an office Mexican. I don't get out in the sun a lot. We had big fat head pictures of her, and I'm kind of trying to hide in between the pigtails and going like, "Yay, way to go!" Like, whatever. But I know that for me, I started kind of reflecting back on like what my parents must have felt like when I was graduating. I know I've seen my kids graduate as well, but it kind of reflected back on my own experience for sure, seeing Lily graduate. It was really cool to be there, and for everybody that helped out, everybody that had a part in supporting her, supporting us, being here, helping us set up, all that stuff. A big congratulations and to all of us, but thank you so much for making all that shit happen. It takes a village, y'all. Oh, sorry, we're Mexican. It takes a pueblo.
Definitely don't do it alone.
No, we didn't. So thank you for everybody that had a part in any of this journey, for sure. One of the things that happened at the graduation, though, and this is happening more and more, which is kind of a sad deal. Spooky Bitch is going to cry because she cried the last time we were kind of recording this. Yeah, she's ready. But, you know, there was a student, Jonathan, who committed suicide this year, and they had him as part of the ceremony. They did a memorial song. They remembered him. They put a chair with a cap and gown and his picture on it. And they, you know, he was the last student that they kind of mentioned. You know what I mean? I know he was there in spirit for sure. If the parents were out there, big prayers. You know, that must have been hard for them for sure to be able to kind of be there if they were. I'm not sure if they were, but they did the school did a good job in kind of including the student kind of in
the
the
also have
summer.
a page in the yearbook.
And a page in the
They
yearbook.
gave the last page of the book, like they added it in there.
Yeah, I know he was the last name that was called, but that was kind of hard a little bit. I know I cried when that happened because it's like something you mentioned last time. You couldn't even. There you go. Yay! You know, you were mentioning last time. It's kind of hard to imagine. You know what I mean? Seeing all these kids walking down there and, you know, getting their award, their diplomas, and having your kid be remembered in spirit, right? I mean, that kind of affected you a little bit.
Imagine how they must feel.
Yeah.
Like, to be a parent and something like that happened at graduation time, you know what I mean? I mean, it was like December when it happened, but like it's a process. And to know that he was supposed to graduate this year, like I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. So, but hey, congratulations. Whatever school, whatever it's what do they call it? The progression, or what do they call it when they go from one grade to the next? I don't know, some fucking thing.
Yeah.
Hey man, if you made it through the fucking year at school and you're going to
Yeah.
the next one, or if you graduated, whatever the fuck, and you're going, whatever the case is, congratulations, god dang it.
That's gonna bother me until I figure it out.
Yeah, why not? We'll figure it out later, but it's okay. But that was cool. So let me kind of get into this deal, right? Spooky Bitch, since it's your youngest, man, how was it seeing your youngest walk down, get her diploma, all that kind of stuff?
I was glad she passed.
That's not what she said last time, dude.
I don't remember what I said.
She's coming in for the heat right now. She's like, I'm gonna fuck it.
I don't remember what I said last time, but no, it was I like I said, I felt accomplished because it took so much over the last 4 years. The beginning of high school wasn't such a strong start. It was more like I don't care, until she got to like junior year. Then she like something bit her in the ass and she jumped up and got involved in everything. And she was not just a part of graduating, but she was a part of graduation, like the ceremony itself. She's part of ASB, so she's a secretary, so she, had to like sign off on all the bills to have everything taken care of for graduation, to set it up, and she gave the speech at the end, the last speech that kind of like dismissed everybody, and but we didn't have to wait till the end to hear her name. It was actually at the beginning, which is also kind of long.
Yeah, because we were saying this last time we recorded this, man. Like, she's one of the first top 10, and they had like 400 students. So after we're like, yeah, and afterwards we're like, fuck yeah. I just stopped. I just stopped giving a shit after like
But we all
200.
came together to help another family cheer.
Oh yeah,
And
well,
they
Rachel
didn't have-
Ann.
Rachel Ann.
Rachel
I don't know her
Ann.
last name, but it was Rachel Ann.
Rachel Ann, yeah. There was a mom that was with, I guess, her son or something, but her son was in a wheelchair and kind of a handicap or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what's fucking political
I don't know the
nowadays.
right words anymore.
But he was holding up a sign that was on a flag, but on the other side was his sister or whoever was graduating, and the mom was trying to get it together and trying to be there and make it everything. We all of us came together in the bleachers, part of her family, my family. We're like, you know what, we need to fucking. So,
They started like the telephone game across the road.
yeah.
Hey,
We had to help. We had to help them
Rachel
cheer.
Ann.
We had to help them cheer for sure. So when her name got called, we all cheered, and the mom looked back like, "What the
She's
fuck?
like,
These
"You're
Mexicans are
confused."
crazy, dog." And we're like, "We're here for you, man. We got you." And she was just so appreciative, which is so great because we got to help her celebrate for sure with her with her kid graduating and stuff, and we
Because it was just like two of them. I was
yeah,
like,
it was
"Oh."
two of them only, and one was in a wheelchair, and he just wasn't all there and stuff, and so
And the
like,
mom was trying so hard to like
balance
take care of
that
him,
and be
then
there for
video
her and
record
video and yeah, it was so it was cool
was
to do
nice.
that. Yeah, it was
I
cool to
like
do that
that.
for sure. Going on, but I know for me it was kind of a surreal little bit. I started reflecting back on when I graduated, and like I said, a lot of mixtures of certain things, but it was hot. I'm telling you right now, it was fucking hot. It was hot being there. It was worth it, but fucking A, it was hot. If anybody remembers Thursday, it was hot. A hot day for sure.
I'm actually a little curious how it felt for you because like when you first met Lily, she was like 9, and you taught her how to flip burgers on the barbecue grill. You know what I mean? Like with that, it's kind of.
She's grown up to be a wonderful, strong, amazing, independent woman. She has, but she's very opinionated, so it's kind of been like, I remember when she was not so opinionated, so it's kind of like, oh, you're fucking an adult now, huh, motherfucker? But it was a trip, man. It was a trip. I think that, a lot of the, like, have you ever seen a TV show or movie where you see the kid doing something and the parent sees him still as the kid, kind of a deal? Like, I will always remember her as a little kid. I remember we had a pool in Vegas and she was on my back, and there's still a picture where we're like flipping the pool. I still remember that little girl. Before I knew she had monkey feet, and
Fingers
but to see her grow, it's been a trip, man. You know what I mean? I've seen my kids grow for sure. I'm still seeing when my youngest grow, and of course I'm still seeing my older ones grow. But it's just a trip, man. To have my oldest almost be 30. She's gonna be 30 next year. My middle son's gonna be 27 this year in a couple months, and my youngest gonna be 17. And so next year he's gonna, not yet next year, but the following year he's gonna graduate. So it's just been a trip, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a trip to kind of like be like, fuck, dude, like, wow, you kind of see them growing, and you hope the best for them, but you also get worried for them. You know what I mean? But you also want to hurry the fuck up and get a job and you get out there and do, you want to kind of see what the end result's going to be like, man.
Yeah.
And so I think for me it was a lot of mixture of certain things. Like I said, I was reflecting. My mom visited from out of state, and I know a lot of your family visited from out of state. And it was just a trip to kind of reflect back to like, oh shit, like I've gone through this with my kids, but I remember, when my parents did that for me and stuff. But we were in a stadium, motherfucker, that was covered with air conditioning. God dang it! So, but just kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? It was cool to kind of see the progression throughout the years, see her get this and you know what I mean? And now we're kind of fucking tired. Like we're so tired. I had to go to work the next day. Yeah, I had to go to work the next day, and then even the next day, like, I found out that they're taking away one of our programs, so half of our staff got cut. So, whenever I talk about people, we're howling at life and we're trying to figure out how to do this shit. Part of the thing is, the reason I say that is life is going to kind of throw a curveball at you certain times. You're going to have a great day, and then all of a sudden life will happen, and it'll kind of fuck up your day, and you got to still learn how to continue to howl and not give up. You know what I mean?
Kentucky
roll through it, man. And I'm gonna let everybody know for sure. Please make sure you're taking care of yourself, everybody, because I guess COVID's kind of coming back or something. But stay hydrated, take some vitamins, please wash up, all that stuff, whatever. Just take care of yourself, everybody. There's a lot of flus and colds and stuff. This whole springtime thing has been really weird. So please make sure you're taking care of yourself, everybody. Public service announcement. Yeah, because I know that we found out today that like there's a whole house where some of our members stay that I work with, and they found out they had COVID, so like they're not gonna be able to come this week. And I'm like, fuck that. I put a mask on. I bathed in hand sanitizer.
I was actually impressed that you still had a mask.
My Cowboys one, yeah, but it was loose, but it was still on. I was like, fuck it. I gotta get some more because I don't trust these motherfuckers.
I think I legitimately threw all masks away.
I think I did, except for that one. I think it's for sure, but at the same time, I know that, you know, you got to take care of yourself, everybody, because there's more howling to do. There's more life to fucking attack, right? And there's more things to face. But just make sure you're taking care of yourself, everybody. It's very important for sure. Just want you, everybody, to fucking listen to the next episode, fuckers. You know what I mean? Or listen to the past ones, too. There's some on Spotify and all that stuff for
some good ones.
All the people that have, you know, my arms are fucking huge, man. These fucking things are. I've been working out, everybody, so I'm just kind of perving on my arms. Fucking sassy going on, but yeah, you know, the after party was great. We had a lot of people visiting, family, friends, everybody, friends at our family. You know what I mean? And it was just a great time to be here. A lot of good, a lot of good deep talks, a lot of laughs. Hey, thank you for the taco guy. Thank you, Sexy Sasquatch, for the taco guy, man. Man, what a hit. That motherfucker. We had about maybe 30 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Something. And he told me at the end of the night, he goes, that's the most tacos I've ever made for a party this size. How did you make? 320 tacos. Well, I had 13 of them, dude, so I'm going to be lying. I'm not going to be lying. Like, as soon as I thought tacos, some were cheese, some weren't. I was like,
it smelled so good.
Oh, God, it was fucking phenomenal. I was paying for it the next day, though. Holy crap, I was paying for it the next day. But thank you, Santino, for the hookup on that. And Armando, the taco guy, if you need his information, please let me know. I'll hand the number to you. But thank you very much for making all that happen and everybody that made it happen that night. It was cool to have family and friends and all that kind of stuff.
It was cool to watch everybody.
Hold on, let me do that. And then what?
It was cool to watch everybody just enjoying themselves and everybody just sitting there and conversating and laughing and talking and just being together. Well, you said you had, what, 13? I only ate about 4.5.
Hey, we didn't gotta talk about the past and shit.
No, not that I didn't want to, but like I was making sure everything is taken care of, everything was out, you know, all the stuff we made for the sides and the salsa and everything, and like every time I would go to sit down to have something, I would just sit back and just kind of watch everybody. Like it was, I got so much joy from just watching everybody enjoy themselves.
Well, and a lot of times, like I was talking to, I forgot who I was saying this shit, but you know, a lot of times when we put all this effort and stuff, you know, in life to make things happen, accomplishments, goals, whatever, please make sure, and I've said this before, everybody, you know, accomplishments are great, but you got to sit back and enjoy the work that you put in, even if it's getting to work, even if it's getting out of work, or even if it's getting to the weekend, another month, whatever the fuck the case is, man. Enjoy the journey of what effort you're putting into your life. You know what I mean? That's why you get a lot of miserable motherfuckers out there. You know what I mean? Like, complaining shit. It's like, look, man, we put a lot of work to make shit happen, y'all. And I understand as adults and whatever, you know, we just kind of like, I don't know, we just kind of were supposed to do it. But, you know, it doesn't mean you can't sit back and be like, look what I did. You know what I mean? Look what I'm able to do.
All those little accomplishments that we get to have, even just on a daily basis, just the small ones, they add up to like, I accomplished a lot. Yeah,
but I think that fact is, everybody, like I always say, take some time, right? I always say rock and roll and go, you know, go with the flow and all that shit, go for the ride and shit. But at the same time, you know, when the ride's over, you know, there's going to be another ride happening for sure. It's life, you know what I mean? The ride don't stop until the ride stops. But take some time to enjoy the ride that you just put that work in, and how far you've come and what you did to make that shit happen. Because I'll be honest with you, like I think during that time, like when we had the get together and your family visiting, my mom was still visiting, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It was like there was a lot of deep conversations I had with some family members. My mom did an amends to me. She apologized for some stuff, and that blew my fucking mind because I was trying to go to sleep. You know what I mean? It was fucking late, dude. And then
she was like, I'm gonna go to bed, but she was like, wait.
Oh, I got something to tell you. Oh, fuck, man. You know what I mean? But no, it was cool, man. It was cool to reconnect with her in a different way, for sure, in a different level. With your daughter and your niece, we stayed up till like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh no, it was 4.
No, we went to sleep at 4. It was 3:45.
3:50 or something.
That's a fair. But we had some deep conversations with her niece and her daughter.
And it's funny because we were just talking.
We were just having a cigarette, damn it. Like, I didn't think they were gonna.
It ended up.
Oh no, we were talking inside, and then I was like, I need a cigarette for the rest of this shit, dude. And I kept on fucking pounding them for sure.
But it was cool. Like,
it was very
just to
cool.
sit there
I'm not nothing against it. It's just
yeah.
a couple hours sooner.
I was like thoroughly shocked it was that late when you said that.
Yeah, because I looked, I was like, hey, dude, I'm trying to kind of chain smoke, and I don't do that. So, like, what time is it? I was like,
Yeah.
it's about time, bro. You know what I mean?
I was like, holy crap.
But we got to do that. We got to enjoy some food and celebrate and just have some laughs. We got to finally play your Tetris game. I'm gonna say your Tetris game. We got this human-sized Tetris on the teeter-totter thing. You get to roll the dice and you get to choose whatever. So, champion 3-peat right here, everybody. Champion 3-peat right here, Wolfman.
Definitely.
Yes. Oh shit, sorry.
Definitely, like, the guys enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
All the girls were like, we're watching, but we're like, like biting our nails and stuff, watching them play. But it was
Catchphrase, all sorts of games, man.
Nadia played too, but other than that night it was you, Jason, and Tyree.
Yeah, buddy.
That played the hell out of that game. It was so fun to watch.
So got to enjoy some time, some discussion, some laughs, some games, some smiles, and stuff like that. And it was really cool, man. Like I said, a lot of times we kind of just skip those moments, man. But when you reflect back, you get a lot of those good moments. And the sad part about it is a lot of us, we don't think we have a lot of blessings in our life, man. And I think it's important to soak up all the blessings, to reflect back and be like, this little thing happened and this little thing happened. Just like I said, like Friday, I heard a lot of my coworkers were, getting laid off, and someone had to reapply for their positions and whatever. And I was like, anxiety, I was crying. I was like, my job, I'm looking on Indeed and shit. I'm like, fuck, I'm looking at all the shit I have to pack and shit. And I just got there 2 months, and I still got my job. You know what I mean? And it was just like that. I think it didn't dawn on me that I still had my job until like I got home. I took a nap. We went out to go eat. All sorts of shit. And actually, no, we stayed in to eat that night and stuff like that. But it was just, it was great to be able to finally, once the emotions were over and the worry and the concern and all that shit, to be able to like, oh, wait a minute, I still got my job. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even when everybody left finally, when everybody flew out and whatever, blah, blah, and we were done, I was like, I'm supposed to do a podcast. Y'all can wait.
We were tired.
We were tired. I mean, the thing is, because there's a whirlwind, that's one of the things with howling at life, we don't say the way that life is going to come at you. We just say you got to keep howling at it, man. And I don't know what way you got to howl depending on what life is throwing at you at what certain time. But like you mentioned before, when we were talking about it, there was a whole mixture of emotions that were going on.
Yes.
This, almost the last week, really. And so I think for a lot of us, we think we have to howl consistently a certain way. Hey, you might have to adjust that howl a little bit. You know what I mean? Life might throw you a different curveball, or it might throw you a blessing, and you got to adjust accordingly. You know what I mean? So it's very important to be aware of that and honest with yourself, so you can figure out what type of howl you're still supposed to have. You know what I mean? So let me ask you, because a lot of your family was here. I know my mom was visiting. My dad had surgery and he couldn't, but some people were watching on YouTube because they had the graduation thing televised. What was the thing for you that stuck out the most, the most like meaningful for you?
For the whole thing.
Through the whole thing.
I had all 3 of my kids under the same roof, under my roof, actually.
What?
All 3 of them. It was the last thing I expected. Honestly, I didn't really expect that to happen. The other 2 are kind of like on their own little journeys or whatnot, and it hasn't been the best relationship, I guess. And my son actually came over and had a couple tiny baby conversation with you, but. Actually came to the house because he originally wasn't going to come to the house, and I was like, hey, maybe just come have something to eat before you go, because him and my brother were going to drive back to Vegas right after that, that same night, and he actually came and he sat down and he was here, and I got a picture of all 3 of my kids, which I couldn't tell you the last time I got one of those with all three of them together. And, you know, didn't say about an hour, which was plenty. I was more than happy with that. And he actually gave me a hug. He gave me a hug at the end of that. And
look at that. Look at that. I'll give you a cheer for that. For sure.
did not expect that at all. At all. Like I wasn't trying to push it. That's kind of like my approach with him. I don't push it. I don't like. I'll take what I can get, and I wasn't gonna push it. And everybody was just here at the door, you know, saying bye when they were leaving, taking a couple last minute pictures, and he like reached out, and I was like stunned, but like my brain had to like kick in because I don't want to miss the moment. So my brain had to like hurry up and like take that opportunity, and it was. I could not have asked for anything more. I really couldn't. I could not have asked for more.
I'm glad that I got to experience that for sure. I think that's why it's so important. Like I always tell people, you know what I mean, about accomplishments, taking some time, blessings, all this kind of stuff. Because a lot of us, man, I don't know, like in 2025 especially, right? I mean, if you look back at 80s movies, and I said this before, like this is the future from back then, right? I mean, this was the future. Now we're living it, and a lot of us are miserable. You know what I mean? We have these big hopes and dreams where life was going to be like, where we're going to be at, who we're going to be, you know, at this age. And you know, a lot of us, I like what you said. We don't want to miss the blessings, but how many of us are stuck in, you know, responsibilities, or stuck in work, or stuck in fucking have-tos and all that bullshit, and you totally miss the blessing because you can't sync up to being present in the moment. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, my kids are all here. Thank you for all my kids and Monster Squad and everybody for popping in. You know, the thing is, I think for me, like, I have that all the time, right? Those are my blessings I get to see all the time. But like you were saying, it's been a minute since you've had all three of them like that, right? So for you, that blessing was, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a chance to be able to have that blessing kind of constantly. I'm always texting all my kids on Monday, and blah, 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 whether they respond or not. That's my, you know, I reach out, and some of my kids respond right away, and one of them doesn't, kind of a deal. But, you know, I'm always reaching out like that because I have that blessing. You know, that's one of the things my mom told me. She said, you know, you're such a great dad. I said, well, I was not always a good dad. She goes, but you are now. And I go, well, I'm trying. You know, I'm working on it. I'm really putting the effort. So I get those blessings constantly, and that's one other thing. You know, you have to make sure that you count your blessings. Stop trying to compare your blessings to other people's blessings. Because if your blessing, you're used to it, it might not be that big of a deal anymore, but to somebody that barely reaches it or barely like experiences a blessing, and they've been waiting for a while for it, man, you know what I mean? That's their blessing. And a lot of us are missing the blessings because we're trying to compromise or compare, you know, our blessings to other people, right? You know, you don't have that job, you don't have that car, you don't have that person, you don't have that this, you don't have. And it's like, but what do you got that's yours, man, that you could say is yours, man? You know what I mean? Or what are you working towards or whatever? You know what I mean? Kind of a deal.
I will snatch up those little tidbits every chance I get because it's been a lot of years waiting.
Well, and I think that's the whole thing, you know. When some people say this shit, and I'll be honest with you. I'll just be honest with y'all, Wolfpack out there, right? When a lot of people say like, I'm happy when other people reach their goals. Well, I'm fucking not, because I got my own fucking goals, man. Like, I'm cool you reached it, bro, but I got my own.
For you,
like, I'm happy for you, but like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I do, but at the same time, like, I got my own fucking train. I got my own journey, you know what I mean? Like, it's good. Hey, all right, bro, that's cool. You know, I'll give you some kudos, celebrate, high five, hug, you know, kiss, whatever. Fucking reach around, rub and tug. I don't give a fuck. Whatever has to happen. Once all the messages start coming in with that shit, hey, dog, you don't hear my number. But no, I think the thing is...
Hashtag rub and tug.
Oh, motherfucker. But I think the thing is, like, for a lot of us, right, I'm not one of those people that really gets happy so much, like that, overly ecstatic over somebody else's, you know, accomplishment, because that's yours. You know, the way that you see it, that validation you need should come from yourself, just like for me. You know, when I got my bachelor's degree, which you're going to be getting yours in a couple of years, but when I got mine, everybody was so much more happier than I was. I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay, and then what? Because I didn't know. The reason was because I didn't know what to do with it, though.
Yeah.
That was the first time I had a degree. I never got my associates. I kind of just jumbled both of them together, and I did this journey, and I was like...
And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to be feeling like that.
Yeah, it's going to be like, okay, what do I do now?
Piece of paper.
Look at what I got. Yay. But everybody else was so psyched for me, man. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, that's great, but like, you know, what do I do with it? You know what I mean? I'm like, I did it. But you know, I never had one before, and I don't think anybody that I knew had one. So it's not like they could tell me.
That's the biggest thing, is a lot of people don't have that anymore. You know, a lot of people don't accomplish something like that.
Well, the thing is, I think it's hard, right? Because a lot of us, we strive for certain things, but like your accomplishments are yours, and somebody else might not know that sense of accomplishment, you know what I mean? Or that goal or whatever that's going on. You know what I mean? Not everybody I know is trying to be a comedian. Not everybody I know is trying to do podcasts. Not everybody I know is trying to for the second master. See, those are my things, you know what I mean? Because I know what I'm gonna feel like, you know, now that I've kind of achieved it before. But I think that at the same time, you know, we don't take some time to like really digest the blessings, because some people might not have reached that level, man. You know what I mean? You're trying to like, hey, bro, cool, right? And they're like, all right, you know what I mean? But some people haven't reached those blessings, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for them to kind of like, you know, fuel you and give you that rah, like part of us now, right? Like when I got my bachelor's, I think I was the first one of all my people to get a degree. So, you know what I mean? Or my immediate family too, to be honest with you. Not like all my cousins and stuff, you know, whatever, but like in my family. So like, it's like, yeah, like they were proud, but it's like, they were prouder than I was, because it's like, okay, what do I do with this now? They're like, congratulations. Yeah, but what do I do with it now? You work so hard. Yeah, I know, motherfucker. What do I do with it now, then, dog? You know what I mean? So sometimes we're not able to kind of like digest those blessings, because some people haven't reached that level to let us know what we're supposed to do with the blessing, you know, after. You know, I can talk to people now that I've experienced certain things and accomplishments, and I can try to be like, let me pull you up, bro. Let me tell you, keep going. It's going to be worth it, all that shit. But sometimes when you're in the start of your journey, it might be hard to fucking do that because other people haven't done that, you know? Like a lot of these people that saw their kids and their family members graduate, you know what I mean? Some of the families I looked at and I saw, wasn't one of them like the first time they were going to college or some shit?
Oh,
some of these families when they had the senior awards and shit.
There was one that got like a really good scholarship, and she's the first person in her family to go to college.
Yeah.
And she was fucking smart, like smart.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? Like we looked at each other like, wow.
Yeah.
Because there's some, okay, and not for nothing, and I say this with the utmost respect, but you could tell some of these families didn't do any kind of nothing, like college-wise. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell.
Yeah, you could tell.
There's just, I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. But, like, it's an accomplishment, and
Make sure you comment on this, and I'll let you know what the fuck she means. No, but it's true, because some of them look like they were just hardworking families. Some of them look like they barely fucking, like, maybe they dropped out of high school or some bullshit, and to see their family members, like, that person's accomplishments like their accomplishment. But hey, look, I'm going to tell you, it's cool to celebrate their accomplishments, but try to find your own accomplishments, because it's going to be more for you, for sure. Like all my kids, like I started going into like college and stuff and getting degrees, I think before my kids were, maybe they were starting their journey. I was like, well, fuck, I want to be able to get mine, you know, so you know, they can kind of, you know, I can be an example or whatever, you know what I mean, kind of a deal going on. And so, like, you know, my accomplishments I'm able to enjoy, but also even like with your schooling, right, I'm able to pass when you're struggling or suffering, like how I struggled a little bit with schooling, and now I'm like, oh, like, yeah, I know what to do now. You know what I mean? But how many times have I helped you out in your journey because I went through my own journey first? You know what I'm saying? If I waited for you for a motivation and now I'm looking up to you and now mine doesn't mean it, now I'm trying to play catch up, it kind of diminishes the fucking blessing in the journey though, right? I mean, you know what I mean? That's what I saw with all these kids. They're all happy, but you know, you don't know what they all went through. You don't know what's all going, you know, whatever, how hard they work, what their family lives are like and shit like that, so they could actually get that accomplishment. That's why when we had senior night, I heard some of their stories, and I know some of Lily's friends and stuff and whatever, and I know their family life. So I'm like, hey, motherfucker, like, you made it? Are you sure you made it? Like, are you you'll make it, right? And stuff like that. So
it was very evident, especially that night. Like, you could tell these kids were like, I am not gonna go through what my parents went through. Yeah. Like, you could tell by fucking all these smart ass kids at this school. They were like, nope, I'm not gonna struggle like that, and they're doing something.
Well, and I think the thing is, like, you know, like with the Friday thing, right? When I went to work and I was tired and they dropped out this bomb and they kind of let us go home early to close our day in the field, kind of a deal. So I went home and took a nap and clocked out after that, motherfucker. But I had some deep conversations with my mom and stuff like that. But it didn't hit me until like today when I went back to work, right? Where you know, people were kind of like, all right, they're kind of getting back into business, but they know like they only have like a month left at the job. You know what I mean? So I was like, but I have mine, and I've only been there 2 months. This Friday will be 2.5 months I've been at this job, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, actually I had 2 months, I guess, like last week or some bullshit or whatever. I don't know how the scheduling works, whatever, but I've been there 2 months, and you know, for me, like, I was wondering if I was even going to stay at the job. Do I want to be there? Whatever. And then they're like, well, you're the only person that does that position, you know, substance abuse counselor. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm glad I didn't run. You know, sometimes the biggest accomplishment that we have is just not running until you find out the miracle and the blessing you actually have in your life. Because my ass was looking on Indeed. I was fucking like ready to update my resume and shit. But like when it kind of hit me this morning, because we were so busy this weekend, and it hit me this morning that I was like, I'm glad I didn't run. And sometimes for some of y'all, just the fact that you don't run and you still howl that fucking life, sometimes that's the biggest accomplishment you can have, at least for that day. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think the fact is, like, you know, this graduation recap and looking at all these things, you know, there's a lot of things that's time to take away from this, man. You know what I mean? You know, one of the things is first of all, take some time to check out all the hard work you're doing. Take the time to check out some of these blessings. Reflect, you know what I mean? Kind of just like take a step back and be like, fuck yeah. Because I think a lot of us, we kind of still see like what else we have to do, what else we have to do, what else we have to do, right? And we don't get that.
You stay busy.
Well, we stay busy, but like, even like this weekend, right? Like me and Spooky Bitch were kind of looking at each other like, we gotta work out. Like, do we though? I don't know, we're under calories. Yeah, fuck it, we'll work out tomorrow.
There wasn't a whole lot of time for that.
Or the podcast. You know, there's certain things you can kind of push off a little bit, right? And there's other things you gotta handle. You just gotta handle fucking shit, right? But I think at the same time, you know, it's very important to know when to kind of take a step back, when to rest, when to pause, when to like, okay, hold on, dude. This doesn't mean you're gonna give up. It just means that, you know, you might have to pause and just kind of, you know, refuel your fucking, you know, your battery a little bit. You know what I mean? Some people try to push it and push it and push it and push it, and it's like, dude, even my car's, you know, in the driveway right now, just resting. It's not driving 24/7. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna burn out the fucking motor. But we do that as humans a lot. You know, we go long, we go this, and it's like, dude, sometimes the hardest work that you can do is actually pulling back and resting your ass because that battery needs to recharge. Because after all those weeks of doing this shit, I was like, man, I need a vacation from this fucking weekend, bro.
I need a vacation from my vacation. But also another thing, like you make a very good point, like, you know, to make sure to rest and reflect on everything. But also make sure to make time for the things that matter.
Yeah.
Like, because after Thursday, after graduation day, I was exhausted. Like, I was so tired.
But we still had family visiting. We wanted to take time with them.
And my mom,
you want to take time with yours. I want to take time with mine.
My mom had never seen the ocean. And, like, her whole life, she wanted to see the ocean.
Yeah.
So they had planned for us to go to the beach. It was like my mom, my sister, of the kids. And we took her. As much as I, like, was so tired, I was like, I don't want to go. And I was... Part of me was like, I'll just like send Lily and she can go and have fun. But I went, even though I was tired, because I did not want to walk through sand, because that is exhausting, and that hurts, and I was sore. But just to see her like at the ocean, she was so happy, just like sitting there watching everybody, and you know, just watching everybody have a good time. I didn't get in the water too much because I was trying to lay under the shade, but I'm glad I went. I'm glad I did it because I got to, you know, watch everybody have fun because we don't get to do that often. Like my family's never together like that.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because even when we were having the celebration and stuff, I took time to kind of have some conversations with people. Like I had a deep conversation with your mom, your sister, my mom, you know, my boys, my Monster Squad, my kids. You know, it was time for pictures. I was like, I need a picture of all my kids. I need a picture of, you know, whatever. You know, I didn't want to miss those moments, right? Because a lot of us, we get so busy, we miss our moments. And those moments are the fucking blessings. And then we're wondering later on, I don't have no blessings. Like, dude, you skipped it. You know what I mean? You missed the fucking shot. You know what I'm saying? Because you were too busy. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, when people get busy and they say they're busy, I used to say that. I'm so busy. Then I realized I'm not busy, I'm productive, right? Because I'm doing this shit to get somewhere, right? I'm doing this shit to move forward. I'm doing this shit to obtain something in my life. I'm putting in the work because I'm trying to achieve something. Some people just get busy and put all this effort to fucking not do nothing, just to fucking sweat, you know what I mean? Just to be busy. But they're not really doing nothing for their lives, you know what I mean? What about your future? What about those moments? What about this? You know, there's a lot of people that are irritable. There's a lot of people that are miserable. There's a lot of people that are complacent, but they're busy. You know what I mean? But I don't want to fucking be busy and be those things. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be busy, it's because I'm shooting for something, or I'm heading forward, or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I love being productive.
You know what I mean? I don't. So it's hard fucking work. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna put in the work, make sure it's heading you in a certain direction, man. You know what I mean? That's the most important thing that I can fucking tell everybody, man. You know, if you're gonna put in that work, make sure it's heading you somewhere, man. Not just to put work, and at the end of the day, you're just fucking cranky, miserable, bitter. And you're just like, why am I doing this shit for? Well, why are you doing it for? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, if I'm going to put in that much work, trust me, there better be a fucking payday at some point, man.
Yeah, I want to see some results at the end.
Some results, some pay, something, man. You know what I mean? And even me, man, like, the weekend went great. We got to do everything. Once I dropped everybody off, I was like, all right, one more night, because the rest of the family's going to be leaving in the morning. And it was one of those kind of things, man, because I was like, I couldn't wait to kind of get back to my routine, get back to my whatever, and we're still not into it, to be honest with you.
We're almost there.
Fuck no. But you know what I mean? Trying to find ways to, you know, whenever you tire yourself out, you got to find ways to ease back into your productivity, to ease back into that journey, right? I mean, we got to take the time to do that, because a lot of us, we're so tired and we jump right back in. Be like, hey, dude, like, you know, I'll probably go to sleep early tonight just because I'm recouping. Even though tomorrow at work I really don't have nothing to do. You know, afterwards, after work, I'll probably go work out right after, then come home and then be like, you know what, I am good, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I've never looked forward to sleep so much in my life.
It's a blessing.
I'm usually like, get up, get ready, do stuff. No, I want to sleep.
Yeah.
I just want to sleep.
And you know, the thing is, sometimes you have to delegate some shit. Like, I know that once your family left Saturday night, right? You know, it was like the next day was supposed to be like, hey, I'm gonna clean up the house, whatever, the next day. And I said, why don't we just reorganize it right now?
Yeah.
We got a little bit of energy left, just boom.
I'm so glad you're smart, because that was so good.
Oh yeah, and then the next day was what, like maybe half hour to like the dishes, or you do that, whatever, and just whatever the fuck had to happen, but it was done. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you could do shit today, right? That you can ease up your day tomorrow. Like tomorrow, I don't have nothing going on. I'm gonna be what they call a house mouse, front desk person all day, just answer phones, whatever. But past a certain time, half the day, I don't got shit to do. So my thought process today was, I'm gonna have all these notes. I'll do tomorrow, blah blah blah. And I said, but I got time today, so I knocked out all my notes. So now I don't have shit going on tomorrow. A lot of SWAT. I'm gonna be watching a lot of Netflix tomorrow.
A lot of streaming.
A lot of streaming tomorrow. But that's what it was, you know what I mean? I was looking at certain things going like, well, I can knock it out today, make my day easier tomorrow. That way it's more of a blessing. I can focus on what I gotta focus on. Later on in the day, I can do what I gotta do and just have a chill day afterwards. Boom, go to the gym and do my thing a little bit, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, I might even do the Garden Grove gym, to be honest with you, on the way home. Since I'm already on the way home, I might as well hit that motherfucker and then hit home, take a nap. I'm there for the night. That's it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think a lot of times, you know, being able to look ahead at how to plan the action we take is a blessing. You know what I mean?
Plan appropriately.
Plan appropriately, of course. You know what I mean? But like, you know, so like I already checked out my schedule for all of June, and I'm already, you know, because I want to make sure that I'm putting the right energy where it's got to be at. I gotta put my time and energy into something that, you know, whatever the hell it has to be, so that way I'm not so overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you could easily fucking overwhelm yourself into being miserable, bitter, irritable, discontent, stagnant, whatever. I'm getting too old for that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting too old. So, you know, that's going on. So, congratulations again to the class of 2025, everybody. Hey, you made it, y'all. You know what I mean? Can't wait to see what your next chapter holds for you. And we are the class of 2027, bitches. What, motherfucker? Ha ha. Yeah, I'll be graduating about a half a year before you or something like that. So
I think you're April or something. I'm November.
No, I think it's June or some crap or whatever. So I don't know. We might be doing it around the same time. I have no idea, but it's in 27. We'll see. I haven't even started yet. Fuck. They're fucking up on their end. Oh, you know what? The guy told me to. He says, because I was emailing my person again, trying to be proactive, trying to be productive, right? And he was like, "Oh yeah, they don't show you your class until the Friday before you start."
I knew it.
And I was like, "Motherfucker!" I said, "Well, I didn't know." So he sent me the classes, and hey, by the way, if you have any questions, reach out. I go, "Yeah, motherfucker. Well, you got to tell me because I got to get these books." So,
which, if you think about it, that's stupid.
It's stupid as fuck.
That is so stupid.
My other school wasn't like that. You could see everything, all your courses already, blah blah. So Grand Canyon, you have it up, man. UMass, catch up, motherfuckers. But You know, we'll make it happen, Captain, because there's no excuses, man. I can't be on Friday being like, well, I didn't know. Well, fucking dude, like, you
Reminds
gotta.
me, I gotta do homework.
Oh, shit. So you gotta do something, right? You gotta do something for sure. So, with that being said, everybody, we're gonna go into our last portion right here, everybody. Wrong button. Tired. But we're making this happen for y'all. So, hey, we just wanted to recap because after all the blessings and the madness and everything that happened, all that stuff going on, we were able to go and check out the movies. So the movie that we watched this weekend was Karate Kid Legends. So I've been doing this the last couple episodes where we kind of recap the movies a little bit at the end of the portion so we can get that done and end on a happy note. What were we going to say? Because I saw you.
Better than I expected.
Oh, yes.
Because it's like, it's not even like a remake or anything like that, but it's like
it's its own story.
It's tertiary though, because you have Karate Kid, you have Cobra Kai, and now you have Legends. So being the third in line, I was like, I want to see it. Didn't have really high expectations of it. I was fucking wrong. Like, it was good. It was good.
Okay, now let me tell y'all, because we're going to finish up this episode just kind of recapping some of this and what our views of it. 2 big fucking paw prints up. 2 big wolf paw prints up for sure. Now, what I liked, it was its own story, but it did follow in the Karate Kid universe, which apparently I heard that they're going to be doing a lot more installments, hopefully.
It followed the tradition of Karate Kid.
Right, but so what I liked about this movie is if you haven't seen it, please go see it.
Oh my God, go see it. Let's go see it again.
But we can see it again. And I got to take fucking Monster Scar. Like, we got to just go see it. Adrian, he saw it with Gabby Sunday too, so we were talking about it today when we were texting. So what I liked about the movie is that it kind of has they don't like cookie cutter reboot from the original Karate Kid, but it does have certain nods on the feel of it. There's some certain story before the training happens. There's some certain story before the fight happens.
You learn a little something.
You learn a little something, yes. It does take part of a little bit of. There's a little story in the beginning that kind of comes from the second Karate Kid movie. Because there is 3 Karate Kid. Actually, there's 4 Karate Kid movies. The 3 with Ralph Macchio and the 1 with the female one. Then Cobra Kai started. And now it's this. So one of the things is they take a little bit of a story from Karate Kid 2 to implement in this, and this is how they kind of branched it for this movie. Which is like when we heard it. I don't know about you, but my eyes lit up like I remember that scene. That's like so they took this little nugget of story that Miyagi put in, and that's how they created this whole other line of stuff going on. So I think they did a great job with it. I liked everybody that was in there. The dick was a dick. The fucking hero was a hero.
Yeah.
The chick was what she had to be.
It's actually 5 Karate Kid movies.
Is it?
There's a 3 original, the girl one, and then
the
Jackie
Jaden. Yeah, okay, yeah. So there's 5 Karate Kid movies and the Cobra Kai and whatever. Yeah. But it does blend the Karate Kids together
so
really flawlessly.
Like stupidly well.
Yes, flawlessly.
I was expecting it to be like all like
jumbled
like,
and
not making sense, but they did it so seamlessly. Like stuff.
They did it well. Yep. They did it like stupid well. And then a great cameo. A couple cameos in this movie, which was great, especially the last. Please stay throughout until the credits.
Stay.
There's a great little. There's got to be another one. There's got to be another one. Please. There's got to be another one. But they did tie it seamlessly with the second movie, with that 5th movie, and the first 3 movies, and how they did the lineage and the story with it. It was great to see that. I don't know if you caught this, but they had music. Of course, it was like nowadays music kind of deal, so I was like, whatever. But when they were training, there was certain old 80s vibe kind of music that was going on. It was new music, but it was like 80s, kind of like the first Karate Kid when they had the training music and stuff. The best, like certain stuff like that.
Old songs, but redone.
Some of them, but there was like there were these original songs that kind of gave you that 80s training music. If anybody remembers, like Rocky, Karate
training
Kid,
montage.
You know that little the training montage where they have this little music that gets you a little pumped, but you're like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I know it's for the movie, kind of shit. So that was kind of cool. But there was a lot of that was going on in the movie as well. The little love story that was there was cool, dead on. It
wasn't too much. It wasn't overboard.
Flew me back to the original Karate Kid movie kind of deal. His little deal with that as well. So they did a really good job with this movie for sure. You can kind of tell where it was green screen on some of the things for sure, but like you go for the ride. You know what I mean?
But it was okay.
Don't like judge it too much, but it was It was exactly what it needed to be and more, I think, than what I thought it was going to be for sure. It had a very big expectation for me for being part of a Karate Kid movie, and I think they did extremely fucking well. I think for me personally, if they continue adding to these movies, they're gonna bring cameos like they did with Karate Kid. I'm sorry, with Cobra Kai. I think they need to kind of do that now.
I think there's gonna be so much more. Like we have no idea yet.
Well, that's what I heard once the Cobra Kai was a big hit and whatever, and they started talking about this. How can we whatever? I know that they were saying that this was supposed to open up the Miyagi-Do-verse, kind of a deal. So I'm hoping that it does because I want to see more.
I want to see more.
I want to see more. The way that they did it, it just gave you this nice, I don't know, this innocent fucking movie vibe. I know we have a lot of horror movies that are coming out, a lot of scary shit, but this one gave you a really good feel.
It was like nostalgia,
feel good movie for sure.
Nostalgia, but current at the same time. Like it was cool to experience the nostalgia with it while you're watching it, but you knew it was something new and more. Like it's a weird combination to have.
Well, and the thing is with the Jackie Chan and the Ralph Macchio Karate Kid movies, they merged them well, where you could see nods to each of the movie where they interwove them really.
Jackie Chan I fucking love his comedy.
Oh,
Like,
he's
he's so
hilarious,
good.
man. His timing and his comedic, his
tone, like everything is on point and beyond believable.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's like that in real life.
I would love him to be. I think he is actually. To be honest with you, I think he is. But great movie. You haven't seen it, go see it. You'll probably see us again watching it again. To be honest with you, but great movie. If you haven't seen it, please go for the ride. It is worth the ride for sure. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode of Howling at Life. Everybody, we did it. All right, everybody, go enjoy those little blessings. Take time to kind of see them and all that kind of good stuff. We're gonna go out like we always do, so let's do this. Everybody have a great week. See you, everybody. Have a good week.